All right, so I'm going to show everybody how to set up their office equipment. I obviously have mine unplugged, so I'm going to show everybody the easiest way to set up their equipment using the most reliable method, and then I'll kind of trickle down the different ways you can set up based on what your home setup is like, and as well as maybe kind of run through a few IT tech common issues that may occur. So first and foremost, the most easiest way to set up your equipment is hardwire. So hardwire means you're actually taking an Ethernet cord like this, and you're going to hardwire the phone and your computer. So this is the computer that you would be shipped out to you. Phone, computer, both hardwired into your Wi-Fi modem router combination here in the back. So hardwire, what that looks like is taking Ethernet cord, plugging your Ethernet cord directly into the back of your Wi-Fi modem router, and you're also going to plug it into, down here is the port for your Ethernet. So from here to here, that's one cord that you're going to need for hardwire. The second one is going to be, all right, so I flipped the phone over so it's a little easier to see, but I went ahead and already connected the computer and the Wi-Fi modem. And the other thing you may get shipped to you is a device that looks something like this. It has two Ethernet ports on the one side and your power on the other. So if you do end up having one of these, this is still the most preferred method. You would take the Ethernet cord and plug it into here, the very far right hand side, and then you would also take another Ethernet cord and plug it into here, the Avaya box, and you would also plug it into your Wi-Fi modem like this. If you're able to set it up in this fashion where you have two Ethernet cords in the back of your Wi-Fi modem or router, and you have one here in your phone and one in your computer, this is the most guaranteed way to have your system and equipment work properly and almost without fail. It's perfect this way. This also should be enough. Once you plug in this black box, the Avaya box, into the wall, it will power up the phone with just the one cord. So that's all you need as far as power to the phone. So this is the preferred method. There are other methods to set up your home equipment. So I'll go through the next easiest one. Okay, so the second option is if you do not have easy access to your Wi-Fi modem or router and you have Wi-Fi in your house, that is another way you can set up. So you could just simply take off this one and this one. So once you remove this, you can connect your computer to the Wi-Fi. And once you've connected this to the Wi-Fi, this will still operate and you can still receive phone calls to your phone as long as it's plugged into your internet over here. So you'd have your computer on Wi-Fi, your phone on a hardwire, and this is the second way you can set up your home equipment. This is still very reliable, and this is actually what I have set up for myself personally, and it's been great ever since I've used Wi-Fi and hardwired. But I understand most people may not have Wi-Fi, or they may not have an access to the modem or router that's in the same room with them. They may have it across the house. So if you do have one across the house, you might have been issued one of these, which are the TP links. If you have the TP links, which I don't have them handy, that's why I'm showing you a picture. If you have those, you would take your Ethernet cord that you would have plugged into your phone, and you would also you'd basically have this right here, this gray cord. Instead of it being plugged into your computer, you would have the Ethernet cord plugged into one of the white boxes and then into your Wi-Fi router. So, and then you would also have another one on the other side of your house plugged in from this right here. So you would take the one that's plugged into this box right here, and you would take that and plug it into the other white TP box or TP link box across your house. So if you're trying to put internet across your home because your modem is not nearby, you have to have both your Ethernet cords and the TP links on separate ends of your home, but make sure that you try to have your white boxes plugged into the wall themselves and not a extension cord or a power outlet, like a extension outlet. Make sure it is plugged into the wall for best results. And just an FYI, the TP links are not the preferred way. I mean, I understand that they do work for some, but it is not the preferred way to set up your equipment. It can be spotty at times. So if you do have issues, let me know. But the other way you can set up your home equipment with the TP links, or the way you can set up your phone. Actually, if you were not issued one of these black boxes with the 2 Ethernet cords, let's say you didn't get one, that's okay. You can still set up your home equipment. You would instead of using this last one, you would use the second to last one. You'd use your Ethernet cord, plug it into here, but it will require you to have the power brick. There's actually like a little needle point power brick that goes to the phone that gives it the power, because it won't be able to just turn on with just the Ethernet cord. The other one, yes, it will, because it's plugged into the wall. This one, it's not going to be plugged into the wall to bring power into the phone. So you'll have to have the power source for it in order to run the Ethernet cable into your phone. And then the Ethernet cable can go either into a TP link or into the back of your router, whichever method you have or whatever devices you have handy. The last port right here, just so we can go through all the ports real quick, this one is going to be for your headset. So where your microphone goes for listening and taking calls and hearing calls, that's going to go here. And to kind of run through what these are on the computer, this is going to be it's kind of hard to see down here because my hand's in the way. The very bottom is going to be the power. Then you have your Ethernet port, and then you have these 3 right here are going to be for your monitors or your screens, and then the rest up above are just going to be your USB ports for like if you have a mouse or keyboard and you need to have it Wi-Fi or not Wi-Fi, Bluetooth into your computer. That's what those are for. So I'll kind of run through a couple troubleshooting things that may help you. So one of the more common issues that we see is on the display screen. If it says like LAN or firewall, or I think it's firmware or firewall, that there's an error of any kind on the phone itself, go back and check to make sure you have your device set up correctly, as I've already explained on the best ways to do it. If you're using any other method than the hardwire, for example, Wi-Fi, the TP links, I recommend to verify whether or not it's a phone issue or if it's an internet or if it's a connection issue. The best way to find out if it's a phone issue or hardware or software issue is just to take your phone with this black box right here, the black box. Take this and your phone and walk over to your Wi-Fi router. If you're on a TP link, like walk over to your Wi-Fi router and just plug it into the your modem, and it should restart and it should clear any errors. And if it takes you to the home screen on here and it actually shows your RMT number, then you're good to go. Then we now know it's not the phone, it's however you had it set up across your house. That seems to be the most common issue, is people using the TP links and getting some kind of error message. So to verify whether or not it's good or bad on the phone itself, or if it's just your connection, just always take it to the Wi-Fi router and just plug it in for a minute or so. Let it boot up, and then if it clears it, you're good. Then we know it's just not the phone, it's your setup the way you have it set up. If it's anything else, if it's still giving you that same kind of error message, or if it's giving you like it's rebooting all the time, it could be a connection with the port or the cord itself. The cord could be damaged, and it could be restarting over and over again for you. And one last common error or tech issue that we see a lot of is if calls are not able to come through into your device, and you are waiting for or trying to receive a phone call, but they're not coming to you. Make sure if you go to the menu button here, if you go to the menu button and then go to your settings, I believe it's settings is like number 4 on the drop down list that'll pop up. If you go to settings and you go to call waiting, make sure your call waiting shows disabled and not enabled. And then also make sure that you save that setting. So once you click on the disabled, you have to click save, and then boot, basically get yourself back to the home screen. That could also be a common error that we've seen as well. All right, now I'm gonna go set up my equipment, and I'll kind of show you a quick rundown of how I personally have it, which works great for me. And then you can see how everything is set up, and I'll show you with all the lights on and the home screen on the phone. Okay, sorry if it's a little dark, but this is how I have mine set up. So the two cords right here that are the screens for your monitors, the power source on the bottom, and then I do have my black box. It's already plugged in, and then I'm going to use the black cord, or one of the cords, to go to the back of the phone, and then I'm going to use this cord to go into my Wi-Fi router, so that way the phone is hardwired in. One small trick that I just recently learned: if you take your Wi-Fi modem router to wherever the internet is coming into your home, you may have your house or your apartment already pre-wired to have Ethernet ports around your home. So I'm fortunate enough that I do have one. So it looks like a phone jack, but it's actually an Ethernet port. So if I plug my blue cord into the Ethernet port in the back of, or this on the wall, it actually routes to my Wi-Fi router on the other side of my apartment. So you may want to check to see if you have that pre-installed in your place, because that will help save a lot of hassle and a lot of cord space running around your house. Okay, so blue cord has been attached to the wall, and then we simply attach the black cord to the back of the phone. And as soon as we pop it in the last port, the blue light will turn on, and it should start booting up right away. And it'll go through a few different screen settings. It'll say installing. I believe it'll even go through like a LAN, the IP. So it'll take a little while for it to go through all the different screens. And then once it gets to the home screen that shows your RMT number, you should be good to go. Your phone is active and ready to start taking calls. Okay, and this is what it should look like once you're all set. The RMT number is going to be different for every person though.